much to Arielle Silver for bringing us into the room with some beautiful strumming. It is so great to see so many folks joining us today on day 2,265 consecutive days of singing here in the Daily Antidote Song. So glad you are all here. Everybody, please help me wave to all the good folks out there on the live stream. Hey gang, thanks for joining us today. We're glad you're here. And everybody, please help me wave to all the good folks in the room here. Let's see who we see today. I see a bunch of folks from lots of different US states. I see the UK over there. I see British Columbia over there. Really glad that you guys are all here. Thank you so much. Really special to have you. And it's another beautiful day and another day to take a deep breath and try for at least the time that we're here together to find the sustaining joy in music. We know that there is so much going on in the globe right now, and some days we really focus on it and on the social justice aspects, and today is no different. I would like to welcome, please help me welcome, Arielle Silver. Arielle Silver, who is joining us today from Massachusetts instead of from our home because Arielle is on tour. And let me just tell you, she's been with us once before, but I'm going to just tell you really quickly, in case you're new to us or you have not met Arielle yet. She's a California-based singer-songwriter, a consummate storyteller. Her songs are rich with imagery, empathy, and insight, and she's equally inspired by Laurel Canyon and Greenwich Village. We'll chat about her tour in a little bit, but we want to get right into the singing. So Arielle, can you tell us what the first song is you have for us today, and can you teach us our part? And welcome. We're really glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Hi, everybody. Really nice to be back with you. I see some familiar faces. I wanted to bring a song in today. The title is What Really Matters, and it's a song about values clarification, how in difficult times we get really clear on what really matters. And so when I teach you the song, that's the line that you're going to sing, the title line, What Really Matters. Joe, should I go ahead and teach that? Are you all ready to sing? Yeah. So your part is really easy. You're just gonna sing what really matters, and I think the lyrics are all in there too. I know some of you like to sing all the words. What really matters to what really matters I think you got it, right? What really matters. Shall I do it? Play the song, tell the story? I'll tell you the story about the song afterwards, but a little bit of I'm still on Pacific time here. I'm in Massachusetts right now, but it feels like early in the morning. We're at the early morning crack of noon at the moment. So this is a little bit of a coffee energy song for me. What would you take if your world was on fire? Right in the wind on a tinder of leaves. Flames flying in like an enemy fighter. Sun rising red, tell me what would you grieve? When you're burned down to the bedrock, when you're scraped down to the coals, when everything you thought you knew is changing, and you're fighting with the devil for control. Flask of whiskey, stash of pot letters from a lover that you should have long forgot. When the tidal waves of tears turn to laughter, that's when you know it comes down, 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 down to what really matters. What really matters. Smoke screens and days cemetery bones and churchyard stones. When it comes down to the bedrock, when everything that you've known is shattered glass in the doorways, and you're wrestling with an angel for control. No flask of whiskey, stash of pot letters from a lover that you should long forget. When your tidal waves of tears turn to laughter, that's when you know it comes down, 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 down to what really matters. Ooh, 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 no, ooh, ooh, no, ooh, what really matters. Ooh, 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 no, ooh, no, ooh. No flask of whiskey, stash of hot letters from a lover that you should long forget. When your tidal waves of tears turn to laughter, that's when you know it comes down, 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 down. There's ooh, 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 no, ooh, ooh, no, ooh, what really matters. Ooh, 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 no, ooh, no, oh, what really matters. Ooh, 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 no, ooh, what really matters. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Arielle, thank you so much. That was absolutely great. Loved singing that, loved hearing it, loved thinking about the poetry in that song. And I would love it if you'd chat with us about what inspired you to write it and sort of like anything you want to share about the inside of that song.
Yeah. Well, I'm an East Coaster. I was born, raised, grew up, all the stuff, came of age on the East Coast, and then I moved out to California about 20 years ago. And my whole upbringing, I learned about the four seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. And when I moved out to California, I got a job working in one of the tall buildings, and I could see the window, out through the windows, I could see the Hollywood sign and the Hollywood Hills. And one day I was looking out there, just gazing out into the distance, and the hills were on fire. And that was my first experience with fire season. I didn't know, I thought it was strange that all my coworkers were just walking around like, okay, this is just what it is. And in the 20 years that I've been there, I've been through 20 years of fire season every year on the west side of the country, and it's a natural part of the ecosystem, right? Like the ecology of the Western world the western side of the country, it needs the fire naturally. But of course, as the climate crisis has gone on, fires are burning hotter, higher up the mountains in the cooler area where there weren't fires before, or they're faster. Human development has edged into a lot of the natural world, and so of course we're experiencing the fires coming into our cities, our towns. And this song was inspired by a particularly bad fire season about 6 or 7 years ago. And in Los Angeles, if there's anywhere really out there, if it's, and you guys have had fires, close enough on the East Coast as well. And I know folks here are from all over the place, so some of you are more or less familiar with this. But when there's a fire nearby, and depending on how the wind's blowing, the ashes fall from the sky like snow, and cover your car, cover the street. And of course, last year in January of 2025, where I live specifically, it was a very, very, very bad fire season. We had it shouldn't have even been fire season, actually. Typically, there's rainfall that starts in November. It's the rainy season. Rainfall in November, December, but we didn't have any rain. And then the Santa Ana winds started blowing in January. Hurricane force winds, 70, 80, 90, 100 maybe miles an hour winds, dry as a bone. And it just starts with a cigarette butt or the spark of a car or something, just like a little spark. And in this case, it was a week after a week after New Year's fireworks, which folks shouldn't be setting in the Los Angeles area anyway. But somebody had buried in one part, someone had buried the fireworks, but there was still like a smoldering underground. And on January, I think it was January 7th, two fires erupted, and they just hopscotched across the town. It was terrifying, really, really terrifying. But what I had already written this song, I had already recorded this song. It was on my 2020 album, A Thousand Tiny Torches. But this was the first time that I actually had to pack my bags and, really go through the process that I was thinking about when I wrote the song, which is that it's a true values clarification when you're up against something like that, and you're like, okay, what is my house filled with, and what do I need and what do I not need? Like, what is not important, And I sing in the chorus, I'm talking about some of the vices, like flask of whiskey, stash of pot, letters from a lover that you should have long forgot, And I was really thinking about like those old boxes of letters that I have, stored. It's like they're, our past history. I read recently this beautiful line. Somebody said, are you keeping memory or are you keeping paper? And it's like we keep our memories inside of us, but as we were going through this suitcase packing and values clarification, it was like, okay, I don't need to keep the paper, those memories don't disappear if the house does, and hopefully the house doesn't, and it didn't for us, but yeah, so that's what that song is about. It's about climate crisis. It's about very specifically the fire season out where I live. But I brought that song when it was still being written. I had a songwriting group. We met every Monday, and I wrote the song, in my area in Los Angeles, but the songwriting group was about an hour and a half. Well, let's be honest, LA traffic. Sometimes it would take 2 hours to get down there on a Monday at rush hour, right? So down in San Pedro, which is a little bit south of where I live, and I brought it into the group, and they were not experiencing the ashes falling and the fire smoke that I was experiencing when I wrote the song. So I wrote that song very, concretely. This is like, what would you take if your world was on fire, like the sky was orange? I brought it down to San Pedro, and they're like, I love the metaphor, and I think that it works both ways if you have direct experience with that kind of thing, or we all have experiences metaphorically with our worlds being on fire in one way or another, right?
Wow. Arielle, thank you. That's really lovely. And we are definitely in a climate havoc situation right now. And whether it's coming to you as fires or any of the other things, there's tornadoes out right now for all the folks out there. I think it's in the Midwest. There's just so much right now. And I thought a couple of things when you were talking. One thing I was thinking of is how also that notion of having to grab and decide what you want to grab also connects right now to immigration and ICE and all the things that's been happening in our country right now. And also we did a song in here with Elise Witt that we made a video of that was called Ready or Not. And it was talking exactly of like that time that you have to choose and what does it mean, what you do and do not have that you can take with you physically, and where the memories reside. There was something else I was thinking about the fires. I'm probably going to lose it now. just the idea that we are, oh, I remember it was when you were saying that they shouldn't have been setting off New Year's fireworks in LA. And I have been having this thought, I'm in DC right now, as I look around at folks, the weather is not so warm right now, and yet there are still folks who are running their air with all their windows closed. And I've just been thinking about the decisions that each one of us, myself included, makes on any given day that is or is not climate friendly, and what it's going to take to have us all be taking that to the ultimate level of seriousness when we are living on a planet that is just, gasping for air in so many ways. And so thank you so much for bringing those. Really, really love them. I know you have a different song that we're going to sing with you today to close. Before we switch gears, can you tell us a little bit about your tour and anything else you want to share right now?
Oh yeah. Well, you're right now. This isn't my home. I'm in an old Buster Brown factory that's been converted into lofts. My friend lives here, and she didn't know the history of it, but it's such a beautiful space. As you can see, light filled, and I'm in Chelsea, Massachusetts right now. I played a show last night in Somerville, Mass, at the Burn. For those of you who are familiar with that area, love that venue, and it's been a long time since I've been there. The sound I had not remembered, and maybe they've upgraded it. The acoustics are beautiful. So in the back room at the Burn, I might go back there tonight to listen to the session players that sit in the corner when you first walk in. Because I have no show tonight. I purposely kept this day empty so that I can hang with my friend Naomi here at the old Buster Brown factory and maybe go out to the Burn again. Tomorrow I will be in Western Mass in Westfield at a new acoustic room that has just opened up called, it's in the Bright Ideas Brewing in Westfield, Mass. And they have a back room that they've turned into a listening space. I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's only about 15 minutes from Northampton if you're in that area. I would love to see you. Tickets, I think, are still available, so check my website, ariellesilvermusic.com. After that, I head down to Pennsylvania, Godfrey Daniels in Bethlehem. Then where am I? Next week I'm in Hudson, New York at the Park Theater. And then in Windsor, Vermont at a brewery also called Silo, owned by a friend of mine. I'm really excited to see what she has done with the space. Woman owned, and she worked there for many years. The owner was selling it, and she was like, I want to buy that. I'm just so inspired by her story. And she was like, while you're on tour, come up and play. So I'm going up to Windsor, Vermont next week. And then my last show of the tour is in Beacon, New York at a place called Lucky Dog, which is inside the Beacon Music Factory. And then I fly back home at the end after that next day. Yeah.
That is awesome. That sounds like such a fun tour and so many cool places. And you are actually in the stomping ground of a lot of different folks who are in this room and who watch us online. So everybody please check out Arielle's schedule and hopefully find her somewhere along the way. And Arielle, I'm wondering, I know you have a second song for us. I'm wondering if you, I guess two things. One is we can go ahead and sing that song that you brought, or we could sing your first song again and have you come back for the second one another time so that we can do a whole big discussion around that one, because I know that you've got so much to say and we've got so much to say about that one. So totally up to you if you want to try and speed through a description of that song or just repeat your first one. We're open either way.
Let's speed through a description. I'd really love to send people off with this mantra, which I have embedded in the second song. This is from my album Watershed. It's the first song on the album. And the song is called Soft on the Shoulder. And I was doing a radio interview recently, and the DJ was like, "I don't understand. Is that a phrase, a common phrase?" And I was like, "No, it's not. It's not a common phrase. The idea in the song "Soft on the Shoulder" is that, that idea of standing soft on the shoulder of the road rather than stepping into the marching, stepping into the activism." And it was inspired by the murder of George Floyd. And I was thinking about my own self and my own culpability, how I may or may not step into something, even when I believe in the cause, how I have been in my own life soft on the shoulder instead of out there, marching. And so the mantra in the song is love more, fear less. It's a practice. And I won't teach it to you because you're going to catch on to it. I say it a few times in the song, and then we'll just repeat it over and over again at the end a few times, maybe uncomfortably long how many times we'll repeat it, but it's a mantra to like get it embedded in our minds. So Joe, thank you so much for having me here. It's great to be back. This is Soft on the Shoulder. Oh, and by the way, if you're not on my mailing list and you would like to get postcards from the road via email and also a love song, text the word love to 55444 and you will be in my inner circle. You'll be in my world. You'll find out when I'm touring, and I have some new songs. The 2 songs I played the last time I was on the Daily Antidote of Song, I'm recording them right now. They will be released hopefully starting this summer. So if you're on my mailing list, 55444, text the word love. This is Soft on the Shoulder. It starts with a witness, a kindness, a vision, a hand held, an arm linked in mine, carving out some time to understand my crime. I try not to fear thoughts of change sought for old flaws my heart might not want to feel, but we can never heal what we keep concealed. Love more, fear less, it's a practice. I don't promise you gold, but I swear it on my soul, I'll keep trying. Were you asking me to listen? Was I talking through your turn? Was I offering kisses and band-aids insufficient to the burn? Were you on the front lines? Were you calling for my aid? While I stood soft on the shoulder, watching the parade. Love more, fear less, it's a practice. I don't promise you gold, but I swear it on my soul, I'll keep trying. Were you asking me to listen? Was I talking through your turn? Was I offering kisses and band-aids insufficient to the burn? Were you marching on the front lines? Were you calling for my aid? While I stood soft on the shoulder, watching the parade. Okay, this is where it comes in. This is how it goes. Love more, fear less, it's a practice. Can you do that? Love more, fear less, it's a practice. Love more, fear less, it's a practice. A little faster. Love more, fear less, it's a practice. We're gonna double that now. Love more, fear less, it's a practice. 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 For singing that with me.
It's a practice. We all need the practice, and that's really beautiful, Arielle. Thank you so much. And just a little FYI, that did not feel like an interminable amount of time to be singing Love More, Fearless. And in fact, I could have kept going for quite some time like that. It's really a nice mantra to be sitting in, and the rhythm of that repetition was really glorious. And so we welcome you to bring that back again sometime, and we'll sing it for even longer. Everybody, can you all please help me thank Arielle Silver, coming in out of Massachusetts today, and usually from California. And thanks so much, Arielle, for 2 great songs, for an amazing discussion, and really great to have you with us today. And I'm going to go ahead and wave you out of the room in case you need to drop. We've got some announcements and things we're going to do. So everybody, please thank Arielle one more time. And a
Thank
big
you
wave
all.
goodbye to Arielle in case she's not here by the time we pull our screen shares back up again, back down again. Thanks everybody so much. We're going to just chat for a moment about this week's social justice content. So this is our quote this week. This is John Buin of Scene on Radio. And his quote is, "There's real evidence that the catastrophic decline of local news is hurting communities and our society, our democracy as a whole." And that is very related to the content that we are going to be exploring this week. So I'm going to do a little screen share right now of our social justice page on our website, because I would very much like for folks to know what we've got going on there. So if you'll hang tight for 1 second while I switch 1,000 screens, let's see if I can make this work. So this right here, I hope you are all seeing our social justice page on our website. And so I just want to let you all know, we're reviewing this for a couple of reasons today. So this, if you go to our homepage and you click on our social justice page, this is where you would land. And this is our weekly social justice effort. So we are in the week of June 15 to 21. We have our weekly quote. We have our weekly, we could call it homework, our weekly opportunity to listen right out of Arielle's talking and thinking today. Our opportunity to really do a deeper think about something. So we've just started, and we're going to be doing this from now until season 8 of this podcast is over. We've just started on Scene on Radio's newest, in fact, just emerging season, which is season 8. Episodes, I think 1 through 4 are out now, and as they come, we're going to continue to put them up. It's this season is the news, and it's a big exploration of where we are in this country with our media and our journalism, and it is so eye-opening. And we noted here on the website that we've been singing and reading and listening as a community here together in the Daily Antidote since 2020. And back in 2020, we started listening to John Buin and Chenjerai Kumanik's podcast, Seeing White, that was also on Scene on Radio. And this series, I feel like, is very eye-opening. Lots of great stuff to think about as we're thinking about how we can be part of what is going to keep journalism free and open and working in our nation, as well as where we are getting our news and what we are listening to, what we are hearing, what we are thinking about. And so I invite everybody to jump into that. And of course, every week on our page, there's the link to go ahead and jump into the content that we're putting up. Also on this page is our most recent social justice YouTube playlist with things being added to it all the time. And something new that we've just started, we're doing an organizational spotlight. Other folks who are doing great work out there in the world, all to the same end of more freedom, more justice. And this week we're spotlighting Amnesty International. If you click on their link, you will be taken to their website. And down here, this is our brand new resource page. So folks in the room might remember that we listened and watched together ACLU's video on how to navigate ICE if they happen to be in your neighborhood. And during that effort, we put out a way of, sorry, there's a helicopter. We put out a way of adding to our resource list so that folks in our community can learn from other folks in our community about what orgs you're going to learn, to understand, to find ways to give back, to find ways to participate. And so we are each week going to be spotlighting one of those organizations here. Sometimes when we can, they will be related to the topic right now, for example, of journalism or whatever it is we're thinking about. And if you click here on this resource page, and you can see below all of our social justice content for 2026 is all below in case you want to go back and revisit old content. If you click here, you will be taken to our resource page, and this is the list of orgs we have so far that all of you out there sent to us. So thank you so much for doing that, and we're so grateful. It's been really amazing, a learning journey to be able to check all of these out. Up here, it says click here to add a social justice org to our list. And so everyone is still welcome to be sending us suggestions by click on that link and you can drop it right into a form and let us know. So I personally want to shout out John Buin and Chenjerai Kumanik, who have been such an incredible, for me, life-changing game. I think they are two supremely wise human beings who are spending their lives right now giving back and tackling those big tough issues. Investigative journalism, I would say, at its finest. And so I want to thank everybody so much for being listening to me on all of that. And I'm going to also share with everybody and it takes me a minute, I'm sorry, to change all the screens. Going to share with everybody our flyer of what we're doing for the rest of this week. So please continue to join us here in the Daily Antidote Song. I think we are in week 320. Oh, it's either 4 or 5 here in the Daily Antidote Song. And we started our week with Connie Calder, who is new to us, coming in from Canada on June 15, Monday. Tuesday, we sang with Armin Airman in Rhode Island. And on Wednesday, Chris Caldwell in New York. All three of them are also going to be singing at Old Songs Festival. And all three of them were part of last week's Old Songs Festival partnership that went on into this week because we had so many great participants. Today we sang with Arielle Silver. Thank you again so much, Arielle, coming in from Massachusetts, regularly California. Tomorrow is Juneteenth. We are going to be singing with two people. Dr. Kim Harris is going to be with us singing and, as per usual, teaching us amazing Juneteenth history. And we're also going to sing with Vasu Dixit, who's going to be joining us from India. On Saturday, Walter Parks is joining us from Missouri. And on Sunday, we're going to close out our week with Iona Fife jumping in from Scotland. I want to thank everybody again so much for joining us. And it is the end of the fiscal year. So despite the fact that I loathe having to do the pitch, I'm going to do the pitch because for at least another, whatever it is, 14 days, you can still give and it will apply to this last fiscal year. And I'm trying to close the books with enough of a sign that we're doing okay, that Carpe Diem Arts will feel good about giving me a little bit more budget for hiring a little more support staff. So for folks who don't know in this room and folks out there online, I've donated my salary back now for the last 3 years to keep this program going. And I'm going to donate my salary for this next upcoming year as well. But I really need additional support. I'm paddling as fast as I can and still not always making it. So I would love it if folks could give to the Daily Antidote Song between now and June 30. It's going to enable us to put a lot more of our staff hours into bigger fundraising efforts. And I think it will pay back beautifully. I think that there are donors and grants out there just waiting to find us. I really do believe that. So I want to thank everybody again so much for being with us today. Can everybody please help me wave another big thank you to Arielle, who's still over there on the screen, and a big thank you and goodbye to all the good folks out there on the live stream. Thank you for joining us for day 2,200, and I think it was 65. Week, I think 324 or 325. We've been at this for a long time, gang, and it's clearly working. Medicine for the soul, an antidote for what ails us, and so much ails us right now. So come sing with us, come think with us. We'd love to have you here. Thanks everybody so much. Lots of love. We'll see you all tomorrow on the Daily Antidote Song. Bye everybody.